Good evening and welcome. Shuffing hell, who said that? Right, so SESKU and Hemsworth Community Scale Model Club 24-hour build. We chose this charity because Neil suggested it and we said, yeah, why not? And when we looked into it, we thought, yeah, let's go for it. So, Saturday, we started in the hall about 8:30, and you can see the layout there that we went for. And talking through pictures then, and loads of waffle down at the end of the video, setting up stations 4 and 5. So station 1 we sort of said that's where we build as well, looking at all, and setting up station 1. Station 1 then was the hull and basically the deck, and then we went round to number 2, which was the tower. Number 3 was for aircraft builders. Number 4 and number 5 was paint shop and detailing. What an absolute day and night it was. Superb. We got one goal in mind, and that was to try and raise £500 for Models for Heroes. Okay. So we set a Just Giving page up. You can see pictures that's fleeting through, and I'll talk about them in a bit. We set up a Just Giving page, £250 target, and did some pledge forms out as well and said £250 target, off you go. Today is Monday, so it's 2 days after, and how much did we raise? Well, you'll have to stay till the end of the video to find out. Okay, let's make you keep watching it, alright, and torment you to death. So we had a couple of people in early doors, myself, Martin Beddow, Andy Fisher, I think Trev turned up round about 10 o'clock. Housey came from, well actually he cut his sort of wedding anniversary short to shoot across. He got there just after 11. Neil Moxham, one at early bird, straight in at 9 o'clock. Me, Neil, Dougie Tuck, Andy White, all there setting up and getting everything ready. So station 1, obviously that's where the main hull and build is, and what an absolute pair of diamonds Dougie Tuckett and Marc were, straight from the off. Gives it here because, you know, we're doing that, and you know, as the day sort of cracked on, and I'm like, lads, how are we doing? Lads, how are we doing? And it only took one sort of look off Doug just to give me that glare as if to say, will you jog on, mate, because this ain't working as well as what it should do. Drink your tea. So I left him to it. Meanwhile, over on station 2, I think we got Tim and Fraser starting on the con tower, if I'm not mistaken, because that's what stage 2 was. Stage 3 was aircraft, and stepping up to the plate there, we've got Andy Fisher and Neil Moxham. Boom, straight on it. Bearing in mind that I think we've got between sort of 50 and 60 aircraft to build. And once we're sort of, so those three teams are building. So stage 4 and 5, the paint station that were beautifully set up with 4 airbrush stations and you know, the sonic cleaner and the paint shaker and all that sort of stuff, remained relatively empty for first part of the day. So like I said, the guys are cracking on. Oh, I'm there, look, MA, events manager. The guys are cracking on. Dougie, detailing, doing a bit of detailing there. And the banter that we had and the camaraderie that we had was just it really did sort of bring us together, because not once did I have to chase anybody up and say, you know, what are you doing? Are you participating or what? Not once, because everybody knew what the crack was, and everybody just sort of, you know, got going. Trev turned up about 10 o'clock, stayed while 1. Like I say, Housey just after 11:15. Fraser came along and put a 12-hour bat in round about 1:15. But again, Fraser straight in, right, Chief, where do you want me? And because I'd sort of like directed the day up to press at and see where people are needed, Andy Norfolk straight in at 9 o'clock as well. Had to disappear to go and pick his beautiful missus up, our Jeannie. And again, when she came in, it's like, right, Marc, you know, where do you want me? So I could direct people. Doug took Andy White. Now, Danny came in just before 12:30 with a broken ankle. Look at George. Well, I'll talk about him in a minute. Dan came in just after 12 with a broken hand, but, you know, desperate to come and sort of get stuck in. And then Paul Patten, one of the best modelers that I have ever seen, is Paul. He'd definitely be on my team. Paul came as well and absolutely battered it at 12:30, putting a sort of 13, 14, 15 hour shift in on the day. Let's just start in book then. So so these are the people that came. So myself, I got stuck in. Martin, Mark Bridge, top lad, Andy Fish, let me just have a look, Trev, Dave, Fraser, Gene, Neil, Timo, Rue, Martin, Rad, Neil, Dougie took, Andy White, Danny B, Paul Patten, Shara kicked in. Came sort of like, I think it was quite late on actually that Shara came, because somebody had during one of the live feeds had said, is everything going alright? And I think Doug said, oh mate, we could do with some milk. And again, that's the teamwork that we've got, because the amount of tea and coffee that we sucked on Saturday into Sunday was just unbelievable. I think Neil will like the go-between into filling that chuffing tin up more times than enough. So we cracked on, and again, shout out Padre, looking after everybody's needs and making sure that everybody was fed. We're putting food on at right time, you know, and basically looking after us. And it got to a certain stage where you know, things are being built and con tower, and we're getting close to end of aircraft, and the 2 lads were turned into 3 lads, with Fraser jumping in on the hull, turning into 4 lads, with Paul jumping in on hull as well. Look at that geezer there, Mr. Paul Radcliffe, who made the way all the way over from the world to come and join us, and helped out no end, did a cracking job with what he did. And like I say, everybody got stuck in. George were an absolute superstar, making everybody's teas and coffees. I mean, it got to one point, Dave says to me, who's your George? And I'm like, I don't know, mate, he's outside playing football somewhere. Why, what's the matter? He says, oh, I could have done with a bro. And you know what I mean? It's like the memories of I've got when I was young, and I want George to have memories of coming and helping his dad out on times like this, so that he'll remember him forever. As people started drifting away, more people started coming in. A couple of the lads genuinely tired and needed to go for a nap. And because we are so close-knit, you know, we are actually, I mean, we rip the piss out of each other, you know, when it's appropriate, and it's all in sort of good health and all in banter. Look at them 3 there, me, Dave and Paul. 2 absolute top fellas as far as I'm concerned. So we're all allowed to rip the piss out of each other, you know, so I've no shame in saying that Davey didn't go for 1 nap, he went for 2, and I'm sort of giggling to that. Even Nige came, look, chuff me, went for 2 naps, but swears blind that he didn't get any shut-eye on his first one. I'm like, yeah, whatever, course, you know, what sort of bloke needs 2 naps? Anyway, and Paul, My big Paul from Liverpool, he sort of went and had a nappy. And Marc, I'm going for 40 winks, and ended up having a sort of like over 8,000, I think. So let's just cut to the chase. And so how did we do? So like I've said, we set a 250 and a 250 target. That's 500. And £500 target. And how did we do? Let's have a little look. Cha-ching. Models for Heroes are getting round about £1,750 raised to date from us. And the reason that I say roundabout is because obviously we need to get a load of money. And if that's not smashing a target, I don't know what is. We've still got a load of money to sort of get in. Okay, and now you're on to club badge. But I'm going to keep waffling, so I might have to re-edit and chuck a couple of more photos up. Listen. The guys that genuinely wanted to come and take part and crack on, I simply can't thank you enough. Let me have a drink of tea. In the middle of the night, when it got to £450 on the Just Giving page, I was literally, well, I won't literally, I was tearing up on our Facebook live feed saying, will somebody please just push us over edge with that 15 quid and take us up to 500. Now, as it happens, it was Padre's son, Paul. So, Paul, if Neil gives you this video to watch, I personally want to say thank you very much for tipping us over the edge. Okay. Because every single penny counts, as Neil probably tells you. And you were the one that tipped us over the £500 mark. Couple of absentees that the team would have really liked to have down at centre. Mr. Barlow, a superb bloke on detailing, and Chris, we missed you, mate, and Clem. Ian, who decided to have his stag do on the same day, but, you know, needs must. Russ Dye, mate, we would have loved to have your banter, especially outside of Bridgie. Bill were in London for the day with his lady friend. He needs to obviously do more than club. And Rog, we would have liked to have had you down, mate. Alan Stringer, we missed you, mate. We missed your finesse. And same for Mr. Wilson, Marc. We love your detailing work, mate. And I certainly could have done with you to help Rob Smith out on a couple of those aircraft. Simon, missed you as well, mate, because we know that you're just like a bloody engine. Once you come, you start and you never stop. Shadow called in, obviously. Rob came. And that just about wraps it up. I think John nipped in just after midnight, I think it was, and stopped while 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, just sort of like making sure that, how we doing, lads? And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get one of the aircraft in a launch sort of pose off the aircraft, and John rallied round best he could to try to come up with a solution for that. Didn't quite work, but John, again, if you're going to watch the video, mate, if you've got out that you can think of them, feel free. I think Ali dropped in round about 12:30ish, something like that. Oh, no, it might have been a bit earlier than that. Might have been just after 10. Didn't stay long, just bobbed a few decals on. Once people had started drifting, I think Rue and Jean went round about 5 a.m. Which, and again, when I say, you know, when I say they drifted off, listen, lads at club will watch this video, and I don't want you to think that I'm being disrespectful at all. The people that had to go. They didn't want to go. Trust me, they did not want to go. However, there's only a certain amount of stuff that you can do until fatigue kicks in with the human body, as we all know, both mentally and physically. And sometimes you do have to call it a day. And I certainly don't hold that against anybody that went. I would rather you go at the times that you did and be totally safe driving home than try and satisfy, you know, your sort of peer group and say, no, I'm good. And then, you know, I'm getting phone calls next day and one thing and another saying, unfortunately, this has happened because he drove tired. So when you had to go, you had to go. And it's full respect for you anyway, for everybody that went, for turning up. You know, Martin that came in morning, stopped 9:30 while 11:15. But again, you know, chatting, helping out, and getting stuck in. Okay. And even Danny coming with his broken hand. I mean, Christ almighty. Marc, he says, I can't do a great deal, mate. Where do you want me? And it's, oh my God. You know, when you've got a commitment like that off a young lad like that, even though there's a difference between daft and stupid, and he was daft for doing what he did, but we'll not go into that. He still came and got stuck in. Andy White brought me his slow cooker, one of his slow cookers, I think, and a paint booth as well for us to use. And again, contributing things like that for the couple of hours that he stopped. Andy, salute you, mate, and thank you very much. Okay, so you've seen the total that we raised. I've tried to mention everybody that I can possibly think of. Trev brought in the 1 in 400 3D printed Spitfire. Salute you, sir. Thank you very much for that. Let me just have a look. Genius, Jean. You know, she, in this day and age of, you know, gender neutral, and we don't discriminate against men or women, or anything really. At the end of the day, Jean's a lady that comes with Andy, and she puts up with all of us. She makes us gorgeous cakes and buns, which she did yet again, same as Neil's missus. And she comes and sits and models, and Jean, you never flustered, love. Absolute diamond. You know, you sat there opposite your Andy, getting cracked on, never moaned, never complained, not once. You're just you're a credit to yourself, and you're a credit to the team, and you're an absolute credit to the club. I just want to make that absolutely clear, okay? Everybody that I can think has had a bit of a mention for their contribution on what they did, and whether that's raising money or actually coming to the event or watching us on Facebook Live and applauding us from the sidelines. And there is one particular person that I have missed out up to press, and I did want to save him till last because a personal friend of mine who was desperate to come but is incredibly poorly, and he couldn't make it. But I've spoken to him tonight on the phone, on FaceTime, so we've, you know, FaceTime. And talk about a man being gutted that he couldn't come and support on the actual day. There's no bigger guy that wears his heart on his sleeve than this guy, and that's Dave Jackson. Absolutely gutted, and I mean gutted, that he was unfit, not well enough to come, because I've said to him, on the one hand, Dave, you know, I want to sort of like be cautious in my tone and not try to big it up too much and say, yeah, you know, you didn't miss much. But at the end, Dave knows me. And I said, Dave, I can't hold it back, mate. It was one of the best nights of my life. And he's like, yeah, I know. You know, I'm absolutely gutted that I couldn't come, but next time you're doing one, I'm definitely coming to that. And I'm like, yeah, mate, we know. Okay, so Dave, love you, man. And don't you worry about a thing, all right? Okay, we've got you back. So you've seen the pictures. The hull took some doing. The con tower, again, you know, it weren't a throw together thing. Tim and the guys down on that table did a fantastic job. Neil Moxham, Dave Housecroft, Andy Fisher, three legends as far as I'm concerned, chucking all them aircraft together, and the detailing work that they put in there as well by using the tiny drills and drilling out the exhausts on those little 1 in 400 aircraft. What absolutely outstanding. Martin Rad doing the painting with Paul Patten at the start of it, and me and Paul having a bit of a laugh on, you know, airbrush etiquette and one thing or other. Paul, again, mate, not known you long, but glad not to just have you at club, mate. Glad to have you in my life, Cocker, as well. Okay. And then round on to stage 5, which was detailing. Rob, another absolute legend as far as I'm concerned. Rob sat, we'd sort of painted those little aircraft in the grey, and Rob's, you know, sat with me and, right, what we're going to do next? And I look at Rob and I go, well, we're going to detail them, mate. Yeah, how we're going to detail them? Bit of gloss, bit of pin wash. Nah, we're going to do all the tails black and we're going to do all the flaps white. You know, now, Rob, I mean, any other bloke would have looked at me and gone, get you set. Rob never flinched. He just went, right, mate, yeah, I'll make a start. And that's the kind of people that you need on the team. As the team are doing all they can in respect for Models for Heroes, you know, you need individuals who are going to step up to the plate when it matters, not argue, not make excuses, and just do it. That's it. Just do it. Without hesitation, without being asked twice, without me having to justify why I want this particular level of detail inputting into what we're doing. In a 24-hour build, you can throw stuff together and you just say, there you go. We're not like that, okay? We have to see it through and we have to make sure that it is right in every aspect. Excuse me. As far as the actual ship is concerned, excuse me, is it finished then? Well, no, it's not. It's finished to a certain degree. However, it's not just me that's finicky. It's everybody that went to the event, and we'd painted it grey by a rattle can just to save time. But we'd actually got some paint off Jamie and Andy down at Hobby Workshop in Barnsley. Thanks for that, guys. And we are going to paint this thing over the top of the rattle can paint with the individual grey colours that we've got. And, you know, we got masking tape and whites and reds and yellows. So we have still got some painting to do on the deck to make that look something like as well. But over the next couple of club meetings, and there's one this coming Saturday, we will make a start on that. All right. Okay, so not quite done. It's about 90% done. I think we might have, well, now I've been able to evaluate just how long things take. I could quite honestly say that we might have, you know, a good 10 plus hours left in that build to finish it off in a respectable state that Padre Neil can take it to shows and display it in the manner befitting the dedication and commitment that 12 lads and lasses put in over a 24-hour period, etc., etc. You know what I'm talking about. All right. £1,750 today, and there's still money trickling in. If you're part of this build, I can't thank you enough, and everybody gets a pat on the back as far as I'm concerned. If you couldn't make it and you were watching from the wings, I equally applaud you for that, for tuning in. Every penny counts. Okay. That just about wraps us up for the 24-hour build from 30th of the 4th, 2022 for 24 hours into May. We raised an absolute shitload of cash. I'm trying not to swear on my videos. and didn't just beat the target, we absolutely annihilated the target, and it's all thanks to the people that donated, and they all donated all thanks to the people that put in the time and effort to see this project through. Okay. Would I do it again? Of course I would. Not tomorrow, but I would. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for staying with me all this time. SESKU and Hemsworth Community Scale Model Club, £1,750. Models for Heroes. Over and out.